So Williamstown's a lovely town that we're going to today. And I used to come down here a fair bit because I used to scuba dive. And the dive shop was down here in Williamstown, which was called Dive Experience. They've long since closed up and left. I think they have a shop in Queenscliff now. But yeah, so I used to come down here a lot. I also did my scuba diving course down here and I used to come down to the shop and but yeah, I haven't been down here for quite a while. As I said before, Williamstown's been here since the 1850s. So, you know, you would have hoped to see a lot more of the old buildings still here. No, I mean there is some old buildings here, but they're not the real old stuff. This one on the corner coming up here after the traffic lights. It was a pretty old building from memory, but it had all closed down because it had started cracking and nobody wanted to buy it and renovate it, but it had been heritage listed, so they just sort of braced it together, held it together and left it here. It's this one here on the left. Although it does actually look like that somebody's fixed it. The Bristol Hotel, I think. It's quite an old building. And we're here. This is Williamstown, and it's nice and quiet now, but it gets quite busy at night here. It's quite a popular spot, you know, for people just to come and a lot of these, like down here, there's a lot of cafes and stuff, and the tables are set up on the street. People sit outside, particularly along the water's edge, which we're almost there, so you'll see that very shortly. Yeah, it gets very, very busy. Oh, you can smell the fresh bread from that bakery. Lovely. Here we are. You can see the some of the city across the water there. Quite wet there. I wonder if they must have had some rain last night. And what we're coming up to here, just up ahead, is the main sort of strip. In fact, even along here, very, very busy at night. And there's like a little like garden there, a little courtyard. That also gets very, very busy. We'll just pull up here on the left. This is Gem Pier. I'll see if I can find somewhere to park. I might be a bit early for a coffee, to be honest. Not seeing anything open. I know you get fish and chips there at night. We come here sometimes in summer and we get fish and chips. And Daniel told me to drive up onto Gem Pier. He reckons you're allowed to do it, but I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to do that. Because no, my luck, I'll get in trouble. I'll say, oh, no, you can't do that, mate. And I mean, it's all blocked off. Look at the bollards. They definitely don't want people going up there. Might keep going. Bit of glass there on the road. I mean, you can kind of see the heritage along here, can't you? You can see the older buildings, you can see the or the facades of these buildings. It's quite nice. I haven't seen anywhere that looks like a coffee shop that might be open as yet. I mean, I could probably go to the bakery and get a coffee. And I'm sure there is spots, I just, not that familiar. There's a little spot over here where I think you can park. Maybe we can go for a walk. There's a car park in there. See if we can turn in here, eh? Oh, not what I expected. Well, it is nice though. Can you see the city? Need to be careful they don't have those new cameras that detect loud cars, loud, vehicles. They'll snap a photo of me and try and dick me. Let's just park here, eh? Just park here. We'll get out and just rest our feet. Got all these joggers braving the elements, doing the right thing, looking after their bodies, keeping fit, getting exercise. That gentleman just gave me a nod. The nice old church just up ahead there. I might just go for a bit of a wonder, bit of an exploratory ride. See where we end up. Sort of explore Williamstown a little bit. Looks like some commission flats there. Nelson Heights. Let's see what's down here. I think I remember there used to be a bar down here called the Titanic. Not sure if that's still here or not. It's a police station. Seaworks Museum. Here, I think this is the old pub up here called the Titanic. This is it. It's quite an old building. Not sure what's down there. Waterline Place, Williamstown. It's a shame they don't have the dates on some of these buildings. Sometimes in these old places, these old buildings, they have the dates sort of written on them, or sort of in stone. Let's have a look down here. What have we got here? It's an old train station. This is the old Williamstown train station. And look, by the looks of things, we will have to turn around here. Wow. I think maybe over there somewhere. Yeah, see that tower there? Over there. I don't know if you can see it. Which means we need to turn right up here. And I don't know if you can still get in there. But it used to be a popular spot. There was a bigger opening. Cars used to go there. It was like a meet-up spot. Watch out for these speed humps. The Ball Tower. Welcome to Point Jellybrand Coastal Heritage Park. Yeah. So I remember as a young lad, we used to come here when I first got my licence. Used to come down here and park up. People would be fishing all along there. It was quite a popular spot. Well, I imagine it'd still be quite nice here in summer. Oh well, I'll just bring you along for the ride, eh? We'll go explore a little bit. Lots and lots of joggers. These speed humps are huge. They are literally next level speed humps. I imagine back in the day they used to have some issues here with cars sort of dragging up and down and stuff, and so they've had to put in these bloody huge speed humps. And while we're exploring, if I do see a coffee shop or something that looks nice, I will stop and pull in for a coffee. Or do we try and stay along the water's edge? Yeah, why not? I'm not 100% sure, but I think that this is possibly bringing us to a place called the Crystals, which is a place where they brought us when I was doing my scuba diving license, and we were doing the training, and they'd bring us over here and we were practicing things like clearing our masks and doing ditch and don and some underwater navigation and things like that over here at a place called the Crystals. That's if I'm right. It'll be up ahead a little bit, but no, I could be way off, but I'm pretty sure it's looking familiar. These houses here along the water will be worth an absolute mint. These roads need a little bit of love there. In fact, the roads here are just... Geez, I don't know if the camera shows that up. The roads are horrific, aren't they? Sebastian. So, I'm pretty sure I was right. This is this section of the beach here, and then just around here, there should be a car park over there, and some steps that go down into the water, and that's called the Crystals. At least that's what I remember it being called. And that is where we did our scuba diving training. And then once you'd completed all that, then they took us out into open water, and we had to do, there's a place there I can get a coffee. Magnificent. We'll just go over and have a look at the car park at the Crystals. Then we'll turn around and we'll go in there and we'll park up and we'll get ourselves a coffee, eh? Looks like you can also get a coffee over there. There's a kiosk. There's people sitting down. That's also an option. You just find somewhere to park the bike. Now, I wonder if they do actually still call this the Crystals. We'll see if there's anything that names it. There's some people here who've set up camp by the looks of things. Either that or they're just set up for some fishing. I think the steps are just over there, which is where we used to go from when we were doing the scuba diving. Now, I'm pretty sure if I turn left here I can sort of back up the top of that street, and I could head home if I wanted to, but we're not in a hurry, are we? So I just follow this back down the main part of Williamstown, and then we'll come back up the main street. Jeez, I bet that bloke's cold. Lots of joggers down here, good on them. Even a lot of the older blokes. Why is it that always some of the most expensive suburbs, and let's face it, Williamstown is one of the most expensive suburbs to live in, and yet they're the worst kept? The roads down here are shocking. You know, well, have I taken a wrong turn? I think I have. I think I might have. Did I come out from there? I can't remember. I think I might have. No, I didn't. Well, it's just as well this is exploratory. Keep riding and eventually we'll end up somewhere where we recognise. There's a bridge there. Where's that go? I know we didn't go over a bridge, so... but we are now. No idea where we are. I told you you'd eventually end up somewhere you knew. Hey. Oh, there's a cafe place. You can already start to see it's picking up here. It's starting to get busy already. What time is it? 8:34 in the morning. Cafes are starting to open up. And, you know, by lunchtime today, this place will just be crazy. It'll be full. Well, we did a little bit of exploring around Williamstown. We got our coffee. We went for a ride. And we got out. We got up early. And that's a win. And I remember when I first, you know, I was riding this bike after riding the BMW, and I just like, oh, the Triumph just doesn't feel right. I just don't, you know. After riding the BMW, I didn't feel like I liked riding the Triumph that much, and I'd avoid it, and I was just riding the BMW every day. And then one day I went out, and I checked the tyre pressures, and they were way too low. And then as soon as I put some air in the tyres and went for a ride, like, she was back, and I was like, oh my god. Bit of a false neutral there. Yeah, as soon as I put air back in the tyres, she was back, and I was loving it again. I mean, even though the roads over there are not the best and not kept well, it's still got a really nice vibe about it, Williamstown. You can understand the draw card, that you can understand why people come down here and spend the day and come down here in the evenings. It's got a really nice vibe. And even more so once it gets busy, and I'm actually looking forward to getting the BMW out of the house and doing some riding on her. She is my absolute dream bike, my pride and joy, and I'm looking forward to riding her. She just sits there in the hallway, and I walk past it, you know, all day, every day. And the BMW rides so bloody good, so smooth. It's got so much power, but it's so easy to ride. I mean, this bike's easy to ride too. A lot less power. Yeah, 128 horsepower on this bike compared to 210 in the BMW. That's a massive difference. And you can certainly feel it. I wonder if they're still in the process of tearing this down, because it's like half gone already. Maybe they're just... There used to be a flame coming out of the top of one of these. I can't remember which one, and they'd call it the eternal flame, because it was always on, and if it wasn't on, there was a problem. Well, there's a problem because it's not on anymore. I'm going to have to think about what I want to do for the rest of the day. go to the front, I think. Don't much feel like waiting. And there's a massive pothole here you've got to be careful of. I've mentioned it before in a previous video. There it is there on the left. It's been there for a year. Can you think of a better way to spend a Saturday morning? Just a couple of hours to just unwind, get out, get on the bike, go somewhere. Just, you know what I mean? Get away from it all and just be free for a couple of hours. It's a great way to start the day. Just that feeling of freedom that the motorbike gives you. And the visceral experience when you know, like that on-ramp, just coming on that on-ramp then, and you can't really open it up like crazy because you'll get in trouble, but you can just that little bit, you know. And you know it's there if you want it. And it just feels so good. Especially when I'm on the BMW, you know, and I'm behaving myself, but I know that it's there if I want it. Sometimes you see these fast cars or people, they pull up next and they try to egg you on. And you just know that you're not going to do anything about it, but you know that if you wanted to, you could humble them very easily. Maybe not so much on a 765, but definitely on the Beamer. Yeah, you just look at them and you're thinking, you have no idea, mate. You have no idea. Don't ride motorbikes, they just don't know because they've never experienced that level of acceleration, you know, and exhilaration, and they just haven't experienced it. So it's not their fault, it's just that limited understanding, you know. It's like me, I've never been inside a fighter jet, you know, so I wouldn't have a clue what that feels like. I can imagine it. I've seen movies, I've watched Top Gun, you know. And it's the same thing for motorbikes. People just haven't ridden bikes, they just have no idea of how it makes you feel. I mean, how often do people in cars just sort of like, well, what are you doing? I'm going for a drive. Where are you going? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just going for a drive. It's very rare, unless you've got some sort of special car, you know, to go for a drive. Most people, they get in their car because they want to go somewhere specific. They're going to work, they're going shopping, they're going visiting family, you know. But with the motorbike, you often just want to ride. It doesn't matter where you're going. It does not matter where you're going. So I just need to get on the bike and go for a ride. And the thing that does come into play is usually like, where are the best roads? Where's the nicest place that I can go? Where, you know, are there any twisties around? Yesterday I got on the bike and I rode for an hour and a half to get a coffee and a sausage roll. You know, and it wasn't a good coffee and it wasn't a good sausage roll, but the ride was good. You take out all the potholes. Other than that, it was good. I even love, you know, at the end of the ride, 99% of the time, I will wash the bike before I put it away. And as I've mentioned before in other videos, if I don't wash it like proper snow foam, I'll at least give it a sort of a washless wash, which is basically wiping it down with some Boss Gloss or something and a microfiber cloth, you know, just to give it a clean, which is probably what I'll do today, because I washed it last night and you know, the weather's good, it hasn't rained, so she's clean. There's no bugs today. But I'll still do that, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that part of it. I'll put the radio on in the garage, and sometimes you'll sit there and you'll spend hours just cleaning the bike. Daniel recently bought a CBR 1000 2006 model off his uncle, and I'm not exaggerating, he got that bike off his uncle and he took it home and he spent 15 hours detailing it to a level that is just ridiculous, and he loved it. He loved every minute of it because he got to know the bike. He got to take photos of it, sit back, felt good about it, and the bike now looks immaculate. Oh, here we go. It's one of those days we're going to catch every red light. And you notice today I'm not filtering to the front because there's hardly any traffic. It's not like we taking 2 or 3 sets of lights to get through, although I might just go to the front on this one. Come on, give me the green light before my visor fogs up. Short shifting there just to get away from the traffic. Nothing crazy. Don't know why we're catching every bloody red light. Oh, hallelujah, we got a green light. See that? Oh, you almost had me, buddy. You almost had me. You'll probably get me on the next one, won't you? You'll get me on this one. And I don't like accelerating before a green light, because then if you need to, you've got to like pull up really quick, almost doing a stoppie. But we got through. And you can see it's going to be a glorious day. The sun is starting to come out. I can feel it warming up already. I mean, we got out the coldest part of the morning. It's not forecast to rain until like 4 or 5 this afternoon. So there is still time in the day if I wanted to go back out and do another ride. I guess one of the things of being an older rider like me is that I don't have that many friends my age that ride. Most of the people they do. There's a couple of friends, they ride Harleys. You know, as older blokes generally do. Sort of get into the Harleys. A lot easier to ride, a lot better on the body. Don't get me wrong, but no. And so the point I was originally trying to make is that older blokes like me, there's not a lot of my friends that ride. So it's not like I've got people calling me all the time saying, let's go for a ride, you know. So I often just go out by myself. In the hotter days, sometimes when my son and his mates go out, sometimes they'll invite me along, which I really do enjoy. But as I've mentioned before, then I'm kind of the old man, you know, with all these 25 to 30 year olds, and some of them are real hotheads and good riders, and I'll usually be at the back somewhere.